Arsenal won, Manchester City won, and to be fair, what more can we say about that absolute shite game? Because let's be real. Yes, we got late equaliser, fair enough, but we weren't good. I'm not going to sit here and my connections are stable apparently. Right, I hope I'm not bugging out. Well, okay, we'll carry on anyway. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say that we deserved the equaliser because to be fair, we didn't. But one thing that I will say is that Man City did invite the pressure on themselves. I believe they did sort of not throw the game away, but they didn't really do themselves any favours at all by taking up Haaland, basically saying to our team, right, we're not going to attack anymore. We're happy with keeping you out. We're happy to limiting you to just set pieces. And then the one time they tried push forward, in stoppage time, which I thought was done by Reinders, we get the equaliser. Good ball from Eze, Gabriel Martinelli. Nice finish. Donnarumma's positioning was a bit questionable, but to be fair, that's the game really. But I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go right to the start and the team lineup. This guy must have seen. Well, I say he must have saw Mikel Merino score a hat trick at Anfield. He'd done that before in the game against Anfield. He started Mikel Merino in the middle. I don't know what this manager's seeing, or he's seeing that we beat Bilbao playing that midfield, but this midfield, this lineup cannot run. How are you going into a game at home against a team that we can get the better out of if we actually try playing football? Because let's be real, when we had the momentum in the first 10 minutes or so before Haaland scored, we were moving the ball quickly, we were moving the ball well. The problem is, when the ball gets to the Merino in attacking areas, he has no idea what to fucking do because he is not an attacking midfielder. He is a false nine. He's a striker. I wouldn't even say he's a defensive midfielder, but that's what we bought him as. But that midfield of Declan Rice, Zubimendi, and Merino, I don't know what this manager is seeing, but from what we're seeing, it's not working. And it got to half time, and you're thinking, right, he must take off Merino, which he done. But a lot of people are going to say that Arteta is a genius now because he took off Mikel Merino to put on Eze, which we were all crying out for. Doesn't mean he's a genius because we all knew there's at least a million of us that could have told you that Eze had to come on for Mikel Merino. So the guy's not a genius because if you're a genius, you do something that no one else is thinking of and it works. This guy done something that we all expected to happen. What should have happened at the start? He should have started with that midfield of Eze, Rice, and Zubimendi, and it's probably a different game because we probably moved the ball better in attacking areas. However, once the goal went in, and that goal was an absolute mess. There was like three players. I think Declan Rice, Zubimendi, and I think it might have been Calafiori that was around them. No one wins the ball back. Goes out to Haaland, and Gabriel's just too slow getting back. But I do blame Saliba quite a bit as well for that goal because he's too busy focusing on the ball and then forgets, doesn't see Haaland putting away off to his right, and that's where he probably should be going. And Gabriel, like I said, too slow to get back, slots it past David Raya, and throughout the whole first half, City were in control. They were in control without doing much because they weren't even that good. Let's just be honest, City were not good today. But that's the thing. They don't have to be that good because we were so bad. The impetus was on us at home as the home team to go out and attack Man City, which if we had done that, I probably say it's a whole different game. Let's just be honest. Let me see its streams. Go on Twitter. Yeah, it has. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, it's probably a whole different game if we actually go with the correct lineup, which we didn't. But this Arteta guy, the decision making at times is baffling. And even if we went to the Etihad and done that, I still wouldn't understand it because let's be real, Man City are there for the taking. Yes, they weren't even that good today. Second half, they just camped off in in their box, just limiting us to set pieces. But for being totally honest, they weren't that good. And then, like I said, when they took off Haaland, that was basically them surrendering the game pretty much because like it's like we got the 1-0 lead. These aren't going to score really. So let's just sit back and defend this 1-goal lead, which in the end proved to be costly. But yeah, this whole game stank of poor game management, poor substitutions, poor team selection, and look, this is the exact reason why I've been saying for so many years, and maybe about a year and a bit on this channel that I've been fully doing videos. We are never going to win a league title or anything with this guy in charge. That's a bit better. Got a bit better lighting, but like I said, just dumb decisions like this, and people are going to say, "Oh, Gyökeres didn't do anything. He hardly touched the ball." I don't even think he had a shot. But if we're being completely honest, you can't have a striker who relies on service. Because let's be real, this guy's a clinical striker. I genuinely can't count on multiple hands. I can only count on one hand the clear-cut chances he actually has had at Arsenal. Let's be real, he's got 3 goals this season. It's not like he's been missing sitters or anything like that. He's hardly been getting the ball. And when you're playing in midfield like that, not only are you suffocating our creativity, you are suffocating us in attack as well, because we're basically playing with 10 men with Gyökeres. And that's not dissing him at all, because if we actually had creativity in our team and not having the handbrake on, having the shackles on to actually play football, Victor Gyökeres would be far more effective. However, by no fault of his own, it's like we're playing with 10 men. And I'll go through the team that did play in that first half. Madueke, he got taken off for Bukayo Saka. People are going to say he was our best player in that first half. He probably was our best player. However, he was still crap. This guy doesn't know what he's doing half the time. He's not even in control of his own footballing brain. And like I said, him being the best of a bad bunch, that's exactly what it was. And bringing Bukayo Saka on, I probably wouldn't have done that. I would have brought on Ethan 100% because he's been fit for a while. And Bukayo Saka's only just come back from injury, and you can tell Saka was being rushed back. When we heard that he was in the matchday squad, I think we had pretty much had an idea that he was going to feature in this game somehow. But yeah, who else? Who came off for? Like I said, Mikel Merino. The less said about that guy, the better. David Raya, just didn't do nothing wrong or nothing right. To be fair, when the goal, I did look at it a bit weird when the goal went in, but yeah, nothing much you could have done about the goal. But I've got to see it again. Gabriel and Saliba, like I said, both to blame for the goal. Timber didn't have a good game at all today. I feel like Doku was getting some decent change out of him, and yeah, he made quite a few rash tackles as well. Yeah, he wasn't great. I think Calafiori wasn't too bad, but he was giving away a few stupid fouls towards the end, which were disrupting any little momentum we had left in that game. Coming up to the end of it, but I don't think he was the worst player on the pitch. Zubimendi, I don't think he was great, to be honest. You could argue that he probably should have scored at the start of the second half, which I've got to see it back the chance, but he did put it over quite a bit. Declan Rice, I don't think it was good today again. And that's two games in a row. Declan Rice has not been good enough. He made some driving runs during the first half, but still, apart from that, his touch at times was all over the place. But yeah, just playing that. And to be fair, I do put it down to that midfield quite a bit, because playing Rice, Merino, and Zubimendi together just doesn't work out at all. It's just there's no balance in that team. But yeah, Mikel Merino rightly got hooked at half time, done nothing. Gyökeres, like I said, was starved, but don't blame him. Trossard, he was okay at times, but he weren't great. If I'm being completely honest, decision making at times weren't the best, and he was getting in the way. getting in the way of players quite a bit. And then who's the last one? Madueke, like I said, got hooked at half time as well. And to be fair, even the substitutions, even when Eric should have came on a lot quicker. Bringing on Mosquera late, don't see what the point was, to be honest, because I think he took off Zubimendi around that time as well. But yeah, overall, just a crap performance, man. And where does that put us on the table? So Liverpool are clear. Let's just get it twisted because Man City obviously dropped 2 points, so they're 8 points behind Liverpool. We are 5 points behind already, and it's only game week 5. But yeah, looks like Liverpool are going to run away with it again this year, which I thought they would. It wouldn't be as far apart as it has been, as it was over the past year. But at the moment, they're proving me wrong because they've got 5 wins in a row. They're not looking great, but they're getting wins. On the other hand, we're just faltering at every single hurdle because we've already dropped points twice this season. But yeah, I honestly don't know what to say about that game. Other than the facts that equaliser flattered us because we did not deserve to win that game at all. We never looked like scoring at any given point. But that's the history of Mikel Arteta. He is his coward tactics, coward starting 11s at home as well. We spent £1 billion to play like Stoke at home with the players that we've got. We've got some decent players. We have a very good squad, but the one guy holding it back is this manager. But it is what it is. I'm not fuming. I'm just deflated, really, because, like I said, that was a game I actually did expect us to win. And then when that team lineup came out, I was probably as deflated as most people were. But yeah, like I said, coward Mikel Arteta cost us again. That's going to be it from me. Like, sub, and share the content around. And I'll see you lots probably for the Port Vale game on Wednesday, I believe. I think it's a Port Vale that we got. And then Newcastle away. Fucking brilliant. But yeah, that's it from me. I'll catch you guys in a bit.